face there, Billy Boston, a Welshman, just like our very good friend Jonathan Davis is with us here today, and a former current Wigan legend. So this is the way they line up. The early birds were in danger of flying into this final on a wounded wing, but their right side strengthened by the return from injury of young Ben Crooks, and Jason Crooks replaces Tom Lynham, who was the injured hero of the semi-finals. You remember his long-distance try. Wigan back to full strength for the first time in a long time, but the Mercurial Sam Tompkins only returned last week, and Sean O'Loughlin hasn't played since the semi-finals because of a calf strain. And the word from both dressing rooms is that all those injured players are all fully fit. We'll find out in the next 80 minutes. Phil Bentham took charge 2 years ago of this final. He's back in charge today. The referee, our touch judges, Tim Roby and Joe Cobb. And of course, we will be hearing from the video referee, should he be required throughout the afternoon. Ian Smith is our man who will be casting his beady eye across any decision that needs a second opinion. How important is he today, Daniel Holdsworth, in terms of this whole side? Pat Richards has made kicking off a bit of a speciality, so he'll be looking to spiral this high and cause the young Hull fullback Jamie Shaw a few problems maybe right from the very start. It's been raining all morning. The pitch is slippery and slithery, and this particular rugby league ball does not have the best of reputations in this weather. But what about that from Richards? A mistake right from the off. He's put it out of play on the full. We've got a penalty for Hull straight away. Well,
that was the commentator's curse, Dave, I think. He's made it a speciality and he's put it straight out. So, more of those comments. I think the Hull fans be wanting from you, to be honest, but not the greatest start for Pat Richards and Wigan. Now it gives a great attacking opportunity for Hull to launch their first attack.
Brian Noble up alongside us as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. Specialist penalty from Pat Richards.
Hold, lads. Wait. Hold, Joe.
Well, maybe
Joe,
even for Pat Richards, a former man of steel.
Cheers, Pat.
A World Cup player with Ireland. Big occasion specialist, maybe even for him.
Well, I just think, the conditions are that bad. His standing foot, he hooked it badly and went directly into touch. And as I said, the kicking game will be a huge factor in the result today.
Danny Houghton out from dummy half as Hull look to launch this early attack. Terrific position they find themselves in here. Daniel Holdsworth, Houghton again up from dummy half, and a head down and a barge from Mark O'Mealy, who's setting up a decent position. Only 5 yards away. Houghton from the blind side. Tickle.
Oh, good hit.
Wigan born and bred, of course.
Get that into you.
But in the black
Moffat.
and white. Here's Houghton again. As they begin to move it left, a little hop, skip, and a jump from Jacob Miller. Holdsworth tackled well.
That is a great tackle. He read that extremely well.
Well, this Wigan line is being tested to the limit right in the early stages. And I think that was a sixth tackle, wasn't it? It was a handover. So it's a poor completion of the six from Hull's point of view.
Well, not really, David. Early in the game, he's had a pop of the line as Danny Houghton. We'll see that many times today. Great test on the Wigan defence. And what a place to start your first defensive set for Hull. So they'll be reasonably happy, even though they didn't find a kick play for a little bit of pressure. They'll certainly be happy with where they handed the ball over.
Well, look at this from defence from Hull's point of view, because having handed that ball over, they really are restraining Wigan's return. McAloran from dummy half.
I think we're going to be happy with that defensive set.
Yeah, me too.
Great tackle by Thornley. I think they created, and there's the high tackle, which will give Wigan an attacking position. But the Thornley tackle was a brilliant tackle. He just created a little overlap. They got the ball on the outside. And this is where Thornley comes in. He didn't give the player a time to get the ball away. It had to be a ball and all tackle. Once one defender stepped in, Thornley had to come in. Great tackle.
Here's Matty Smith with a kick to touch. And Wigan get the restart and possession inside their opponent's half for the first time in this game. Just under 3 minutes played. Should be a cracker here today. Wigan the favourites, but they come in shaky form. Hull the underdogs, but their form has been pretty decent ever since that mammoth semi-final victory against the Warrington Wolves. That's McAloran, 3 tackles gone.
Goal 3.
Here's a Lachlan. Sith half sees the gap, but he's grabbed a hold up by Gareth Ellis.
Hold. Goal.
It's McAlorum again. It's a Lachlan. Just shuffling it off down the middle, looking for a little injection of pace if they can, but Hull's defence is strong enough. That was a fifth. Here comes the last. McAlorum spinning it left. So it's Blake Green with a slip ball into the in-goal area. Oh, and it's worked it out. The ball's been lost. Richards, I'm not sure he's got that down.
That is a tremendous
He has been held up.
He's got to go. I think he's got to go upstairs here.
He's made his decision.
He has made a decision, but that's a quick call. A great tackle, that is. But again, I think
No, I've already blown it.
Ben Flower, such fast feet for the forward. He just got over that gain line again. That's a lovely kick.
Zero tackle.
There's the mistake.
It was young Ben Crooks, wasn't it, who spilled it high in the air?
I tell you what, that's an early call, isn't it?
Jason Crooks has done a great. It was an early call, but he's deemed that he stopped him, and the first set of six that Hull have handled, other than the kick, and now Wigan really like to start games strong and fast and blow their opposition away early in the game. Huge test for Hull now.
Well, a real chance here for Wigan to make their mark. Mossop held up only 5 yards away. McAlorum again, spinning it back. Through the hands it goes. Matty Smith. Oh, it's a
good
cruncher.
shot.
Tackle.
Absolute cruncher. He'll get up from that a little bruised, but he'll not let it show. Here comes McAlorum again. So 3 more tackles to go here. Terrific opportunity. It's Tompkins. What the word that he's on his way at the end of the season off to the NRL. So what a big finale he'd be hoping for today. Here's Golding, slowing it down the whole side. Miller doing well. This is Smith. Back to Golding again. Golding with a kick. Charlie's after that, but it's dealt with this time. Puts it behind the dead ball line, although the referee is having a look at this.
Charlie thinks he scored here. Charlie thinks he scored.
Check there's an obstruction on Charlie, please.
Well, they're looking for the obstruction, so we'll hear for the very first time today from the video referee, Ian Smith. So
we're on offside on. Yeah, we're looking at onside, offside to start with, and then when the ball's kicked through, was any obstruction on a Wigan player? So we need a side angle, please. Side angle first, please, to check onside, offside. So we can do that, please. So yeah, need a wider one. Yeah. So I can't check if Charlie's onside. Right, freeze on the kick. Yeah, he's onside, so run it through, please. We're now looking for obstruction. So run it through. So they're both running. Right, it's a goal line dropout. The whole play's clearly got there first. That's a goal line dropout.
Okay, mate.
So we've heard the deliberation there from Ian Smith. It is a goal line dropout, despite the claims of the Wigan defenders that there was an obstruction.
That's the right call, Dave.
You've got to,
another set of 6. Play it on. Just go with what he's called. It's the right call. Another set of 6 though here for Hull. They've repelled them twice. This is their goal.
So a third consecutive set for Wigan to have a real go. And it's Mossop who leads the charge, but only as far as the 40-metre mark.
Wait for it.
It's slow again. McAlorum picks it up, and here's Farrell down that left-hand side. Liam Farrell came on for the bench in the 2011 final.
And hold. Go on the call.
McAlorum.
Straight off on the call.
Quick through the hands, and Smith offers it back on the inside for Harrison Hansen. Hull's defence remaining resolute just for the moment. McAlorum stands and waits. This is O'Loughlin. Half a dummy, half a slip tackle. But then there's 2 there to make sure he's going no further. O'Mealy and Ellis. This is Matty Smith again, grabbed out by 2
Hull are handling Wigan pretty well here, Dave. If they can get this last play out the way, this is their 3rd set that they've managed.
Tompkins to that in-goal area, and maybe a slightly nervous Ben Crooks has to deal with it again, and he has put it behind the dead ball line. It will be a dropout. It'll be a 4th set that Hull have to defend here.
Yeah, I'm watching the Hull defence, and their line speed is fantastic. But what they're doing, the 4 of them from the centre inside are coming up, as a group of 4, and that's very, very difficult to get the play going.
Well, Hull's reputation has been built on defence, hasn't it, this season? You look at the Super League statistics, they've made 8,111 tackles in their 25 games. That's nearly 1,000 more than Wigan have had to make, which doesn't tell you much about their ball retention, but it does tell you they've got the pedigree and spirit when they don't have the ball in their hands. And they're going to have to do a lot of defending here.
Move! Wait, hold!
Wigan looking to exploit.
That's better too.
Here's McAlorum to this right-hand side, and Green to Smith again, and the half break by Harrison Hansen.
Move!
Hull backtracking towards their goal line once more. McAlorum. Here's a Lachlan, short and flat.
A lot of work will be done by both Hull centres today. That's the key. They'll have to communicate and take the line up.
Here's a Lachlan again. They've got the numbers out there. Farrell with a quick one. The ball's been spilled by Thornley. It touched the Hull hand on the way through, but it was quite clearly a knock-on. And Hull's defence, well, a big roar from the black and whites.
I can't emphasise enough how much hard work they've done there. That's the force set on the bounce right to the last play. Force an error at this pass play with a hitting underneath. A drop ball there from Thornley, I think it was. And you can't give enough plaudits to the Hull defence there, because they repelled a particularly good side, a side that loves to batter you at the start of the game and get over the line. And I pick up on Jonathan's point about their outside people coming up beyond the ball. One of the things you think about tackling to compromiser, it leaves them open slightly to the running game through one of the gaps and the kicking game. So as the game progresses, Wigan will look at that.
Good tackle again.
Hull just happy to have the ball in their hands for a while here. 8 minutes played, it remains 0-0. A lot of yards to make from deep inside their own half.
Yeah, they've got a lot of defensive work to do now. Hull will just want to complete this, set of 6 and get a good kick in and try and play in the Wigan half, force the error down there.
There's Danny Houghton going early. Well, his kick from a long way behind the 40, and it wasn't really an issue. He's just looking for distance. Richards picks up close to the goal line. Haggards the chase, pretty good. It's up there as a man, and the first man to meet them is Holdsworth to make that tackle.
Hold!
And Wigan start from inside their own 20. There's not going to be a great desire from either side to throw this ball around liberally, as they might have done, is there, because of this wet weather.
I disagree slightly with the Wigan team. They're a team that likes to pass the ball a lot, and I don't think they'll change the way they play too much. They get great go forward, and when they get on the front foot, then they're going to put their players on at the line.
Here comes Green with a kick, again behind the 40. But again, it's not really an issue of a 40-20. It's just a case of putting the opponents downfield and say, well, OK, you carry that ball safely if you can.
Maybe in their own 20-metre area, that's where the ball retention will be crucial. They won't look to pass or a silly offload. They'll try and force the error. Wigan will try and force the error in this area, as Hull will do in the Wigan 20.
Here comes Briscoe, his second carry in this particular set.
Third. Move!
3 tackles gone and up towards the 40-metre mark. Danny Houghton now bends his back at dummy half. He's a worker, an absolute workhorse in that whole side, as we've mentioned so often in this Challenge Cup run. Attack or defence. He's the man in the middle. Here's Watts driving it forward. Once of Hull Kingston Rovers, he made the cross of the divide in the city of Hull. Houghton, back it goes to Holdsworth, whose kick is a little skewed. It might come off. Ben Crooks with the footballing skills here has helped it on, but Sam Tompkins will take it safely enough. He's dragged down by those 2 chasing defenders, Holdsworth and Houghton, leading by example again. This is Charlie.
Hold. Wait.
McAlorum patiently waiting. O'Loughlin carrying it forward so often as he does. It's the first chance of Old Faithful beginning to rattle around the stadium, and it's been dropped by Golding. It's an advantage play here for Hull, so they can take a few risks if they want, because they know whatever happens, they're back to where it was originally knocked on. So they might have a kick here, they might have a go. Keeping it alive, don't worry about if it goes to ground. Wigan just know they need to hang on, and the referee decides there is no advantage, so the 0 tackle can be taken over there rather than brought back over here.
And that's the mistake that Hull were looking for. You don't want to be giving mistakes, especially in your own half.
What about that for an offload from Danny Tickle?
Move!
Terrific effort to keep that ball alive and make Wigan commit to another tackle in this set. It's O'Mealy.
Tell you one thing, Dave. For our viewers out there, they're not missing each other, are they?
It's a tough physical start, isn't it? Really tough physical start from both sides. There's Gareth Ellis. His wife is due to give birth this weekend, by the way, Gareth Ellis. So he might be missing out on that big occasion for this big occasion.
5.
Good luck to Rachel, by the way.
Goal line, Wigan.
There's tackle 5. Here comes the 6. Danny Hatton stands and waits again. Spins it back to Miller. Miller with a step back on the inside. Might claim the obstruction. The referee's having a look at this. Sam Tompkins springs away and just threatening to go the distance. But 5 yards out, put down, held down. So the penalty goes Wigan's way.
No obstruction there.
That's a big advantage at Wigan half. Just watch this. He just runs into it and looks for the penalty, to be honest. But this is where Hull have got to switch on. Tompkins and Charnley. He hasn't got to go out the way there, Brian, has he? Like,
no.
You run into him.
Yeah, there's no penalty there. And I pick up on what Jonathan says there. I think it's really important that Hull concentrate when the ball is ostensibly dead and on the floor and bouncing around. If Tompkins picks it up, you're in danger, mate.
Wait. Go. Cheers, Joe. Second.
So Wigan looking to get some ground. Let's hear from Robbie Hunter-Paul. What have you made of this, Robbie, down there?
Well, I've got to say that I've really enjoyed what Wigan are doing at the moment. Obviously, they did spill the ball in that last set, which gave Hull position. But what they're really doing, they're being very clinical about their game. They're playing their set, and actually watch them hit the lead runners when they come to the edges. They're drawing a lot of energy out of that whole pack at this point in time. They may take its toll come the second half.
Great to have Robbie with us today, of course. The first hat-trick hero at Wembley back in 1996. For the Bradford Bulls. Here comes a 6th tackle, so Matty Smith will put it high here. So a test again for that right hand of Hull's defence. A reach by Richards has knocked it on. And it will be Hull who get it safely back again. Jonathan Davis.
I think I've been very impressed by the work rate of Ben Flower. You know, he just takes the ball up all the time. But the one thing about him, he has fantastic feet for the forward, and he just gets beyond the first defender and offloads.
Great to have Jonathan with us as well here today. One of the scorers of one of the great Wembley tries, not in a Challenge Cup final, but in a Great Britain shirt against Australia. And he ran around the outside of Mullins to score in the corner.
Which corner is it, Jiffy?
I don't know, they've changed the picture now. I'm kind of lost, to be honest.
It was the right corner of the old Wembley, wasn't it? Here's Hatton out from dummy half and taken on by Westerman, and Hull looking towards this left-hand side if they can. Looking to breach a Wigan line that has been fairly resolute in defence so far, as has that Hull defensive line as well. It's a to and fro type of game in the early stages. Both sides just getting the measure of the other and leaving their physical mark, but both yet to leave a psychological mark. 0-0. Here's Houghton. Back to the middle again. This is Liam Watts now, going the direct route again. 30 metres away, that's the 5th, so here comes the final tackle. Hatton picks it up. Here's Holdsworth. Little kick measured to drop short, but Tompkins came out quickly. It's bowled over in midair. You can't do that. You can't make a tackle when a player has his feet off the ground. A Wigan penalty.
I think he was so committed to that ball. You know, the defender couldn't back off. Watch the commitment of Sam Tompkins going for this ball. It was his ball and no one else's. Let's see what the Tickle does. He can't get out the way there. He's looking at the ball. That is, you know, it's a penalty, definite penalty, but you know, there's no intent there by Tickle whatsoever.
Shake of the head from Danny Tickle. He's got family members here today who are supporting Wigan, by the way, Danny Tickle.
I think looking at the moment, you know, we've said that we have concentrated on the Hull defence, and it is brilliant. You know, the line speed is fantastic. The one advantage, I think Robbie mentioned it, is that the fact that Wigan look crisper in attack. That is the one difference so far I've noticed. You know, the Wigan defence are coping admirably with the Hull attack so far.
Here's McElaurum out from dummy half on that halfway line as Wigan look to this right-hand side this time, and Tompkins looking to chime in as he so often does. The maverick figure, the X-factor in that Wigan side. Golding. This is Hansen, Harrison Hansen. As we're hearing earlier, born in Auckland, grew up in Salford, but he's a Samoan international. This is O'Loughlin, good offload by him, and Wigan keeping it alive, looking left to Farrell, Liam Farrell. 5th tackle gone. Here comes the 6th. So back it goes to Blake Green to try his luck with boots on the ball. Up and high, safely patched by young Jamie Shaw. And a chance to bring it back, Jamie Shaw. Now, we talk about Tompkins being an X-factor in the Wigan side. There's a real potential of Jamie Shaw being the X-factor in the whole team today.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the touchline now. Here's Stanley Arnold.
Well, I've got Andy Powell from Wigan with me, obviously a recent convert from rugby union to rugby league. What do you make of this Challenge Cup?
We saw Andy Powell there.
Yeah, it's a tough encounter, you know. We started well, we were in the arm wrestle, but Hull are starting to come back into the game now, and yeah, it's a real, you know, it's a proper game in the hands here.
Whet the appetite for you to get involved in one of these, maybe next season?
Yeah, hopefully, you know, it's the best, it's a pinnacle. You want to play at the top, and especially in a cup final, you know, it's very special.
Thanks for your time, Andy.
Cheers now, bye.
Nearly tackled just shorter than 20 metres away. This is Miller, kicking over the top. Three whole players waiting there, but it was taken well by Charlie. Got up there with complete commitment and took it well enough. Well, this is where the whole defence steps up again here, isn't it? Make sure we're going to kept inside this 20-metre zone if they can. Tompkins with the initial threat.
Well, the way the game started, Dave, it's been about both defences. Whilst Wigan have looked crisp, both defences have been really strong. So we're going to get to a stage in this half when somebody's going to tire and miss a tackle, and that's going to be the difference when the fatigue element sets in.
What's that, 71 tackles in total and only 2 missed so far, Jonathan?
Yeah, and I think, you know, the spotting has been so good by Hull at the moment. They've just got to keep that going because they know where the Wigan players are going to attack down the wide channels. But also, I think, you know, they've got such a good kicking game. Hull is that when they get into that position, attacking position, they have to utilise their kicking game.
Here's Miller. The game is a little like the weather here today. No tries so far. Just as the rain is holding off just at the moment, there's a real threat of a downpour at some point, an absolute deluge of scoring at some point in this game. Just as there is a threat of some heavy rain before we're out as well. Here's Miller. Inside again, and a little angle run by Liam Watts. Just threatening to find a way through, and Hull looking to build up a bit of momentum here. Quick hands from Holdsworth. It's been knocked on.
It's a great
Last of those was a Hull knock-on, so it will be Wigan's head and feet.
Was that Flower again? That's a great. They've just spotted him. The spot has been brilliant from both sides.
Well, they just put a little bit of pressure in and around there with a couple of pass players, Hull, and again, Houghton running out of dummy half, causing the problems. Just the final pass doesn't quite go to hand. And we get a rest here for an injury to a Hull player.
So while we've got that rest, let's hear from Damien Johnson, who I think's got news on the touchline. Damien?
Yeah, Hull very much in the wars, Dave, because Gareth Ellis disappeared into the dressing room, clutching his ribs. He's being treated by the doctor at the moment, a man with huge experience, of course, in the NRL, and hopefully they can get him stitched up and back on.
We'll have a look at this, fellas.
Well, that's a penalty, isn't it?
It should be.
I'm not sure if the whistle had gone just before that. That's the only thing I think that the scrum had been given before the hit.
So a brief shot there of Peter Gentle, the Hull coach. Here's McAlorum. This is O'Loughlin. Carrying it in, 90 minutes play. And we've yet to see our first score of the 2013 Tetlis Challenge Cup final. It's coming. It's coming. This is Golding. Matty Smith again. It's bringing on those big fellas to try and soften the middle of that whole line. Smith once more, and a foot down and a barge forward by Gil Dudson, who's on from the interchange bench, the Welsh international. Finally, a kick from Blake Green. High and hanging, there's a few questions, and it's again not dealt with at all well. The kicks to that far side. Ben Crooks again, who's just having a little bit of a nightmare at the start of this game.
I think Wigan have changed their tactics a little bit, because what they're doing, I think they're taking more plays up the middle, because they've realised the pace of the outside backs are coming up and back, okay? So what they're doing is they're going up the middle a little bit more often, and it's so tiring, and then they're going later on in the play, maybe out wide. The concentration level falls when you get tired, and I think they're trying to break down the outside backs.
Well, you're right, they're having to be patient. They'll go to the air a lot more, as we're seeing now, and I think Ben Crooks and the other Crooks on the other side of the field have some traffic to deal with from the air.
Well, we heard from his dad before, didn't we, Lee, who played in that 85 final, saying that he was more nervous today watching than he would have been playing. And I'm sure those nerves haven't been settled. Wigan get away with a little bit of luck here. Here's Thornley, who's going to go himself. Well, there's going to be a question here of whether he grounded it. He's absolutely certain he did. But Phil Bentham, the referee, is not. So we're going to go to the video referee again. So let's hear right away from Ian Smith.
We're looking at how the pass, I'm not quite sure which Wigan player, I think it's number 6. See how this pass, was it touched by anybody and knocked on? And then we'll go to the grounding, please. So we're looking for the pass first. Yep, this pass now. Yeah, it's just gone back. There's no knock on. There's no knock on there. So continue to the grounding, please. The camera in the corner. Yeah, just the grounding now, please. Just nice and slow, please. There's no double movement. So we're just looking for any separation. So run it through nice and slow. He's got a grip in both hands. He's still got it. Just pause it there. That's the try.
Well, a huge roar from those in cherry and white when they saw that replay on the big screen. Confirmation of the try. Ian Thornley is the man who scores the first try of the game.
It doesn't matter how much work you put into a defensive system, how often do you see a loose pass, a bouncing ball, the defence in disarray, you have a back row forward on a centre, he steps outside him, try. There was no, it wasn't created, it wasn't a defensive lapse, a bouncing rugby ball again.
Yep, Woodsy, it's the old bounce pass again. Throw the ball on the forward and somebody stops in the defensive line. It creates a little bit of a fracture in that line and enables a running player to run through and finish like Thornley did there.
We've talked about this before, is that I don't know why coaches don't actually coach that. Throw the ball on the ground. Because the number of times it actually results, I know you'll never will, but the number of times it results in a try.
And they had a lucky bounce there, Wigan, the ball went backwards in between a Hull player's leg and they scored from it.
Pat Richards looking to add the 2. His start to the game was not exactly the way he would have wanted. What about his next real involvement in terms of kicking the ball? Well, that's good enough. It's a terrific conversion from the touchline. So Wigan lead here by 6 points to 0. Midway through this first half, just beyond. And Ian Thornley, the try scorer.
There's the bouncing ball. The defensive line's in disarray. You go a back row forward. There's the ball. The referee's view. Gets outside, tickle. Good finish.
And the video referee gave it absolutely no problems. And you'd have been involved, Brian, wouldn't you, with Ian Thornley when you were at Wigan? Because he went to rugby union for a while, didn't he? Sale.
He went to Sale for a fair while, and they brought him back, which is the right decision. He's been a terrific player this year for him, hasn't he? But yeah, he was signed as a 16-year-old when I was there.
Real rising star. Wigan were a bit upset to lose him, but he is back, and boy is he back. And here now comes McIlaurin with a break. He'll put the kick for Charnley to chase. Briscoe's off after it as well. The ball slithers around. It's Briscoe who gets onto it.
That's a great chase. It's a great chase by both wingers back there. Briscoe, fantastic. But what a break with McIlaurin. Unfortunately, no support.
Well, the game's coming alive a little now, isn't it? With that first try, the noise emanating mostly from the Wigan end to our left. But the Hull fans will be hoping to be in decent voice soon as well. Remember, Hull conceded a couple of early tries against Warrington in the semi-final and came back in terrific style. They'll be hoping for something similar. Here's Holdsworth again looking for a big kick downfield. Skidding away from Tompkins.
Just got that wrong, really. He's looked for the 40-20 early kick and just didn't bounce it right.
It's Holdsworth who's up there to make the chase and make that first tackle.
Hold, boys, hold.
Tompkins put on his back. He's not really had a chance to run today, has he, Sam Tompkins?
Well, there was that element of fatigue in McIlaurin's last break, Dave. The clock's turning, legs are getting a bit more tired on this greasy, juice-sapping surface, and McIlaurin picks the hole and sprints through it. Would he have kicked on play 2 normally? I'm not too sure.
Golding is the man who's up at dummy half. This is O'Loughlin who carries it in. Remember, he's had that calf injury. Hasn't played since the semi-final.
Again, they're targeting the centres, aren't they, Wigan? Just targeting the centres, waiting to do you know, the wrong tackle, take the wrong man. Good centre play by both Hull players so far.
There's Jamie Shaw, only played 4 Super League games. Jamie Shaw, 21 years of age. He's been earmarked for something special in the game for a while now, but his chances have been limited, but he's playing here today. And he's one of those, when you're looking at the Landstop Trophy winner, the potential winner, he's one of those that could have a big say on that.
3, move!
Circling the 2 number 9s. McIlaurin has already made his mark. Hatton's hoping to make his mark. That ball has been spilled. It's caught by Liam Farrell. And Wigan position and possession back inside the whole half again. This will be hurting that whole defence.
Yeah, it certainly will. Danny Tickle there with the spill on the ball and on the back of his missed tackle. He won't be feeling great about his game at the moment, but they've got to defend this. Wigan looking strong and looking threatening, and clearing your line against this particular team of Cherry and Whites is vitally important.
McIlaurin to O'Loughlin, to Green. Oh, and stepping out was Crooks, which might just have left a little hole, but there was cover behind.
And that's what they're trying, as I said, that's what they're trying to do. Get the centres to commit to the wrong runner. Crooks stepped out there.
Blake Green with a kick, Jamie Shaw's taken it.
Move! Hold!
Down on the Hull bench with Tom Lynham. Tom, difficult to accept that Wigan try, given the great defensive effort that Hull showed early on.
Yeah, obviously it was a really good start. It's been end-to-end, and yeah, a bit of a sloppy error there, and Wigan have punished you. They're a good team, and if you're going to make mistakes in zones like that, then you're going to struggle and you're going to concede points. So a bit disappointing, but need to build pressure again now, and get a try and respond.
Thanks, Tom.
Andy Lidge on from the bench with his latest run. Here comes Houghton to Tickle, trying to force his way through. But that's tackle 5, so here they are needing a good kick. And Holdsworth again is hoping he can provide. That is a kick behind the 40, but Tompkins comes across to take it easily enough and runs it back towards the 40-metre line in his own half.
Well, they need to get some a little bit more possession. You know, at the moment, you know, we're going to go 66% to 34, but also it's being played mainly, you know, in the Hull half. So, you know, fatigue will be a big factor last 10 minutes of each half. And where the game is played is very important.
And as good as you are, David, in these kind of conditions, at this kind of game, you're going to crack. All that work, all the intensity, the side of a semi-final, somebody will miss their assignment on the fringe, somebody will go through. So having field position in these type of games is crucially important.
Wigan looking to use their big fellas to get down the middle here. McIlaurin just has a little look behind him. Taylor gets to his feet, Scott Taylor. And Matty Smith with a kick, dragging it through, looking at to put it between the winger and the full-back. Here's Briscoe, very careful as he picks that up. But again, it's a wall of Cherry and White that's up there, and Briscoe does decently well enough to make a little bit of an indentation. Here comes Jacob Miller, who's found a bit of space, and then his pass is awful. Well, the first part was 10 out of 10, but the next part was a 0.
The chance was there. Unfortunately, your speedster was up to play the ball because he'd carried the ball out. So.
Yeah, but Miller needs to do better there, Jiffy. He's thrown that into the crowd. I mean, his quality of his skill here, he's every right to find Yemen in that position.
It was the right option, but poor execution. He had a chance there because Charnley was dragged in, so it was an opportunity. The execution was poor, but again, it's that mistake in a very good field position for Wigan.
We see our defenders, all the Hull tacklers, the leading tacklers in this game, all Hull players.
When you see Joe Westerman making that amount of tackle in 28 minutes, you know, he is a very key player in that attack as well. He's going to be, you know, he's going to be fatigued.
Here's Blake Green, O'Loughlin, driving it forward to 20 metres away from that Hull line. They've got one try, and they'll be desperately hoping here, Wigan, to drive another nail into this Hull line.
3, move, go line.
At the moment it's conservative.
Jamie, come on, Jamie.
Now they might go wide.
Jay, come on.
This is Green with a step back on the inside. Houghton had his number, but he's managed to get it away there. And the search for the line is just how off. He's lost it, and it's Whiting who'll pick it up in the in-goal area. Now this is the advantage play. That's why Whiting has leathered it downfield. See what happens here. It's Crooks who's chasing after it. The referee's blown his whistle.
Crooks is offside anyway.
Oh, Crooks is offside anyway, that's why.
All that effort for nothing. What's he doing, referee? Come on, Phil, it's a final, let him have a run.
You can have the advantage, but it has to be legal. So it's Jason Crooks who was offside.
It's good vision by Whiting, though. Very good vision by Whiting. You know, it was the free play.
Crooks was offside chasing, so may as well just call it back.
Opportunity again for McIlroy. Good tackle. Hold him up.
You can't be offside in your own in-goal area, and they're all in their own in-goal area. The referee's made a mistake there.
Well,
he's not offside.
Luckily, Pat Richards got there first, or that would have been a huge talking point.
Well, a mistake from the referee, but it might not matter. It probably doesn't matter. Oh, that ball's been lost, and the advantage is short-lived, and Wigan have it back again. And here comes Scott Taylor. Hull are making a real rod for their own back at the moment in giving this ball away. And Wigan are enjoying a welter of possession. Here comes Farrell.
They're flying in as well now at the moment. A few of the Hull players are. They've just got to keep their shape. Got to keep their shape.
Here's Blake Green across to Matty Smith. Oh, it's been lost by calling. It's gone backwards. It's gone backwards. And the referee says back to one. Well, the Hull fans are furious because they thought there might have been another knock-on in there, but the referee says play on. Here's Charnley.
Move!
Well, I think Hull need to do better. They need to dive on that ball. It's precious at the moment. They've had very little of it, and they keep giving it back to Wigan. Well, that was a forward pass.
It looked very forward, didn't it?
Move! 3, back up!
Judson, 10 metres away, will play it. McLaurin throws it left. O'Loughlin, a step back in the inside by Thornley.
It's a handful Thorn, isn't he?
Go, 4.
Here's Richards. Slung back again. And head down and charge from Gildertson, the Welshman. But that's tackle 5, so here comes the last. McIlroy spins it out. Thornley trying to batter his way in again. Has got it away. Richards, quick hands. Green with a kick on the 6th tackle. This is danger. Charlie pats it back, but into the hands of the Hull player.
Well done, Hull. I don't care what you said, Dave. That's great defence on the whole team. They've just got to get to the other end of the field to start posing a threat, and this is the type of guy that will get them there. Every time he carries the ball, he creates a quick play the ball and some momentum.
Another quick play the ball they want.
Well, they've got 2 tackles up to the 40 and beyond. Here comes Jacob Miller. 30 and beyond, I should say. And don't forget, you can join us on the forum later and send us your 4-word tweet or email us, rugbyleague@bbc.co.uk. Doesn't it seem old-fashioned to talk about emailing these days? It's all about Twitter these days.
He looked tired
join us on the Red
Watch this now. He looks a tired player here, young Ben Crooks. That's the pass he should have taken. He knows he should have taken it. He hasn't played for a number of games. His work rate has been immense in the first half an hour of this game, and that's a sign of fatigue, unfortunately. You just got to forget about that now. Forget about it. Hang on in, 8 minutes. Hang on into half-time.
Well, there's Dad looking on. This is what he should have done, he'll be saying.
He was a fine player.
He was captain, wasn't he, the 85 final? As a 21-year-old, Lee Crooks. So Wigan looking to launch again. I tell you what, 7 minutes before half-time, if Hull hang on here and only trail by 6-0, they will consider that a bit of a result, won't they? It's a big effort at this stage, though.
The weight of possession that Wigan have had, and they get a result here, Hull, with a knock-on. They'll grow and they'll grow and they'll grow with Hull, because they should be further ahead to Wigan. You know, a couple of missed opportunities, unbelievable defence from the whole team. The commitment they're showing for each other just might work in their favour as the game progresses.
Yeah, Wigan have dominated, and they've got a stranglehold. Hull can't really get possession or territory, and I think half-time they start again, but they'll be very, very happy. Only 6 points because they haven't been in the game.
Well, if 85 was a blast in the sunshine, 2013 is a bit of a grind in the rain.
It's always going to be the case. You know, it was so heavy. It's very, very slippery.
Here's Briscoe. Oh, desperate to get that ball downfield. Wigan desperate to keep it. Look at that. Half possession. First half possession. Wigan 64% still.
You've got to complete this set and get a very good kick in. Oh. I think the reason is they're running in ones and they're getting absolutely smashed.
Here's Jeremiah, who's off from the bench.
That's a great carry and a great lift for his team.
82% completion for Wigan, 50% for Hull, so no excuses about the weather because Wigan are doing it. Here's Ben Crooks.
5, move!
That's the 5th. Here comes the last. Herremeier again at dummy half, looking down that blind side, and then they switch it back down the middle. Nobody in the middle was waiting for it. It's a bit loose, this. Taken on by Miller. It's still at the 6th.
That's a wrong call, I think, from the referee.
Well, not a bad finish from Miller in the end, but he had a real dog's dinner to deal with there, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, David, the only thing missing from this game are baseball bats and flip knives. They are getting into each other around the middle. I keep cringing at some of the hits that they're giving to each other. At some stage, there's going to be fatigue. There's going to be an offload. Somebody's going to break through and break this game wide open.
Decent effort, boys, in the rocks this. In this weather, keep it up.
Does he get his hand to it?
Great effort.
He's inside ball, just watch.
Too many, pal.
Let's have a look at this.
Move back. Okay.
Oof. Just missed. Just missed.
Can't do that.
Differential penalty for Wigan. Means they can't kick a goal. Well, 85 yards away. I'm sure they wouldn't have been thinking about that anyway.
There's a penalty there for offside at the scrum. I'll be interested to see where it cleared the back row.
But also, you know, again, they will now be under pressure from. Knock on.
Well, it was a very flat pass. I think Farrell overrun that, didn't he? Which made it very difficult to handle under those circumstances. They've just got their timings wrong there, Wigan, which means that Hull have got it back, and Herremeier, who's been a real bright spot since he came on, is dragged down by Tompkins, having made that threat. Tickle will drive it in.
Move! Hold Wigan.
So Herremeier picks up position again. Back it comes. Whiting. Dragged down by those two Wigan defenders. So no chance of an offload. Again, it looks flat. Taken in by Lynch, who's got it away to Westerman, who in turn keeps it alive. A little grubber kick through. It's a penalty here for Hull for the obstruction.
Definite penalty. I think they're throwing caution to the wind now. I think they're very difficult trying to beat this Wigan defence, so they're just offloading, see if opportunities occur.
Hold.
I think that's the key, Jiffy. They've got to try something different. I think the offload will disrupt their defensive line.
Yeah.
Here comes Lynch. In he goes. Loves to get the left arm free, but not this time. Wigan defenders have that situation sorted. Herremeier picks it up. Oh, Miller's dropped it. Tickle kicks it on. And touches down, but no thought of a video ref from the referee out there. He's given it as a knock-on.
I was just about to say, you know, Miller, I just think he has to be far more clinical with his execution. He's a key player here. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. You know, he's got to take those. He's got to orchestrate things. It's just not going for him at the moment. He's got to refocus.
Hold, just a reminder. Wait for the out call. Wait for the out call. Hang on, pal. Wait for me to call it.
So head and feed for Wigan.
Out.
Here's Richards.
One, move!
Taking a bit of weight of duty off the shoulders of his forwards, helping them out, and the other winger Charney does likewise. Gives the bigger fellas a bigger chance of a breather here.
Hold, lads.
Golding is the man at dummy half. Gee, it's tight, isn't it? Really tight just at the moment. A game of which a lot was expected hasn't really delivered the hopes beforehand.
Move! Hold this side! Hold!
But given the energy that's been drawn out of both sets of defences so far, every chance of the second half exploding into life. The kick is a long one.
Good kick.
Not going to go dead, so Jamie Shaw will have to do the running back here.
Good chase as well.
There,
wow. They got down there.
Hold! Release!
Did well to stay on his feet, actually.
You see the Smith kick.
2, move! Hold! Goal 2.
There's Miller. Tickle.
Move! Hold! Go back on William, come on.
Lynch.
He's had a huge impact on the game since he came from the bench, Andy Lynch.
Hold!
Herremeier. Johnny Hatton off for a spell.
Move!
Westerman.
5. Hold! Go.
Ben Crooks at dummy half. Holdsworth tries the kick, hits a Wigan player, not played out, so it goes out of play for Wigan's head and feet.
And again, you know, the half-backs now have got to put more influence on this. Now again, you know, it's a minute on the clock. They're attacking from the Hull half. That kick should have gone into touch and maybe just one tackle and in half-time. This is a big minute for Hull. This is. They've held on magnificently. This is the last chance for Wigan to score.
Well, there's just about time for a full set of 6 here, isn't there? So let's see what Wigan can do with ball in hand and what Hull can do in defence again. Logan Tompkins is the dummy half. Here comes the charge forward again. Hull's defence responding. 2 tackles gone. 4 more to either create or repel here. Logan Tompkins once more into the shoulder of Westerman, who makes the tackle. This is Sam Tompkins. Green. Here's Farrell. Liam Farrell dragged it down. So 2 tackles left. 18 seconds to go. Sam Tompkins again into the wrestle. Holdsworth's not going to let go. There's more joining to make sure he's slowed.
Why not?
Tompkins again. This is the last play of the half, you'd have thought. Wigan looking to keep it alive, basketball style. Matty Smith with a drop goal attempt. Has he got it? The referee has a look, says no, it went wide. And the hooter sounds on what has been a fascinating, if not frivolous, first half of rugby league.
Yeah, I think both sides will be happy. Wigan with a total domination of territory and possession, but then Wigan's Hull's defence magnificent.
Wigan leads 6-0.
I got the Wigan fullback Sam Tompkins with me. Sam, very intense from the sideline. How's it in the middle of the park?
Yeah, it's intense. It's exactly what you expect from a final. You know, both sides completing well, kicking well. I think the next team to crack will lose.
And do you think 6 points going to be enough to win this game?
No, we've got more in us yet.
Thank you very much. Good luck.